Welcome back, everybody. You are tuned into the Now Morning Show right here on TTT. Good morning to all our Facebook family there on the Now Morning Show Facebook page. Hope you're having a wonderful morning so far, and we hope that the rest of your day will be wonderful as well. Anyway, now we're going to speak about some business, and we are speaking about some winners. With me this morning is Sean Rampersad, who is the CEO of Ramps Logistics Limited. Good morning, Sean.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for joining us this morning. And congratulations on your recently won internationally known and TT-owned Company of the Year 2020.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to have been a recipient of the award.
Now, let's backtrack a little bit. Before you became internationally known and you had this award, for those who do not know, what is Ramps? What is the backstory behind Ramps?
Yeah, so thank you so much. Ramps is an integrated logistics company. So we provide, we are moving material and equipment from all over the world to our customers in Trinidad, Guyana, Suriname, different places in the world,
right,
to ensure that at every single point in time when an operation is taking place, that the material, equipment, and the people who are needed to have that operation take place, whether it's in a rig offshore or it's a plant being built in Point Lisas, that all of that material and equipment is always at the right place at the right time to ensure that the operations continue safely.
So where did Ramps start?
Yeah, so the business started in 1985. My dad started the business in Cunupia as a customs broker. And in 1985 was the height of the recession in Trinidad and Tobago, right? Kind of very similar probably to what's happening these days, but back then it was a lot more difficult because we had so much less of a social net and so on. But Dad started the business in 1985. I joined the business after university in 2003. And today we are about 600 people across Trinidad, Guyana, Suriname, Miami, Houston, and we're just opening in Bogota, Colombia next month as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you recently acquired a warehouse facility and expanded into Colombia. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so, there's been a lot of, the government of Trinidad and Tobago has really focused on diversifying the economy. A lot of times when people think about diversifying the economy, they think about items outside of energy. But really and truly, a big part of the diversification of the Trinidad and Tobago economy is ensuring that the Trinidadian suppliers can provide services to the energy sector outside of Trinidad and Tobago. There are huge opportunities in Guyana and Suriname, and a big part of the diversification is ensuring that we can support those operations in Guyana and Suriname from Trinidad as well. So as part of that, Ramps has invested into a major facility in Chaguaramas, really and truly to really support that diversification thrust of the government. And what we expect over the next few years is that we will run, huge operations and tons of equipment duty-free out of Trinidad to support operations outside of Trinidad and Tobago.
And to undertake these things, you, of course, would need to focus on research and development technology and, of course, attracting young professional talent into the industry as well. How is Ramps doing that?
Yeah, very good question, and thank you so much. It's, I think what happened with COVID-19 is that COVID-19 really forced everyone to really start to understand the role that digital plays in the businesses that we run every single day. There's a huge amount of people who understand that and who've been focusing on digital, but I think COVID-19 really forced us, just the fact that you and I are having this interview over Zoom, right? It has really changed the way we conduct business. And I'll give you an example of that, whenever I always told people, like, okay, so I sit at the head office in Trinidad, and the way I used to manage a lot of the foreign offices was that I would regularly be flying into different countries, and I would sit there with them, and I would meet with them maybe 3, 4, 5 times for the year.
Right.
And there's usefulness in that, but there's also so much usefulness with the ability to now have a regular weekly meeting with somebody sitting down in any other country in the world and being able to review things like KPIs and so on, and being able to get so comfortable with it. What it has done, it has provided so much more opportunity for us to expand the company even quicker than we have been doing it before. So digital technologies allow you to do a few things. They allow you to run your businesses more efficiently, your ability to do things like generate KPIs and to understand performance and efficiencies and so on. Those things become so much easier, but it also gives you the ability to manage much larger operations in a much more efficient way as well.
Wonderful.
In order to do that, you have to have the right talent in your organization. And you know what we did about a year and a half ago is that we really tried to outsource a lot of our product development, a lot of our digital product development to places in India and Belarus, Eastern Europe, and so on. And that was fairly decent. But then we really thought that we could do a lot of this in Trinidad. And we went to UWI and we looked at the people who graduated at the top of their master's classes in computers and coding and development and so on. And we hired those people on. And you know, today those are the people who are leading our research and development teams. And they have done some fantastic work. A lot of the digital products that these guys have developed are now being used by some of the largest companies in the world when it comes to logistics and supply chain management. And I just want to say to everybody in Trinidad and Tobago that it is a huge pool of talent. There is a huge pool of talent and young people in this country. And if we give them the right opportunities, if we build the right businesses, we will see so much great products and great development taking place in Trinidad and Tobago.
So wonderfully said. And, you know, RAMPS is not just a business entity, but you give back as well. So tell us the purpose of giving back to communities and supporting families during this COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, you know. So one of the foundations of the business is to really improve the communities within which we operate. CSR has always been a major part of our business, and you know, if you haven't followed us as yet, please look us up on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We have almost 200,000 followers on Facebook now from across the world, and we really try to share as much information as we can on Facebook. But you know, CSR, for us, it's been something that has really held us together. You know, a big part of what we do, our mantra is together we are better. And what the CSR has done is really build that whole family structure within the organization. It's allowed us to do the right thing because we really believe that, you know, being able to operate in Trinidad and Tobago is a privilege. And I really want to re-emphasize that and to say that again. You know, Trinidad has been so good to us. It has helped us to build a company and to provide opportunities in Trinidad to more than 300 people. So we see CSR as part of our responsibility, part of the foundation that the company is built on. I mean, during this time of COVID-19, we know, you know, Carrie, we do a ton of projects. You know, at the end of the year, every year for Christmas, we do a treat for a ton of the homes in Trinidad. Almost 1,200 children were there last year.
Wow.
And we are not going to be able to do a lot of those things this year. So what we've done this year is that we've refocused our CSR work into devices for kids who are trying to access online and so on. And we are on a drive right now to provide almost 1,000 devices. I think we've acquired about 100 already. And what we are doing is that we are working with our clients to really ensure that we can do all the logistics to get those devices in. So we've actually worked with a number of Trinidadian nationals in the US where we are allowing them to ship their devices to our offices in Miami. And from Miami, we will move it free of charge into Trinidad and distribute it to the schools in Trinidad as well.
You know,
so if you have friends and family, it is, you know, and I remember when we just started off, when my kids, you know, I have 3 boys, you know, I have twins who are 8 and I have a 10-year-old. And I know when the pandemic started, they came home and within like 2 or 3 days, they were online, doing online classes. And then I go to the office and I speak to the offices and I realize that, you know, a lot of children were not online as yet. And our office is back in Cunupia. We had a chat with the principal of the Cunupia Government Primary School. And he was telling us, you know, that online wasn't something that was normal for them back then. So, you know, to us, it came across that there was such a huge divide with those who had this opportunity because of economic circumstances or whatever else, and they were able to access online. And then there were tons of school in middle class areas and a little bit and lower income areas who were not able to access those that online learning resources. And we adopted the Kunupe Government School. Our IT teams work with the teachers there to install Zoom online and so on. And since then to now, there's been tremendous progress through the ministry and through the Ministry of Education and the schools themselves. But we really focus on ensuring that every single child has the ability to access online. And if we don't do that now, there's going to be a huge gap in a year or 2 years from now, because it's really difficult to catch up back on a year of teaching, almost impossible. And I mean, I could imagine how the parents, how they feel about it and how concerned they are about that.
And with that, Sean, I want to thank you so much. I want to wish you continued success, continue the great work that RAMS is doing. Congratulations on your winning of the award, because it is very, very well deserved. And with that, I want to say thanks.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. That was Sean Rampersad, CEO of RAMS Logistics Limited. They just won an internationally known TT-owned business award, and I just want to say congratulations one more time.